Hello everybody, I welcome you all in this new session, and in this today's session we are going to discuss about Kickstart installation in VMware. Okay, and in YouTube also you will get really a video about that, because there is, I don't know why somebody have not uploaded this video up to now, but today I'm going to share you that information in this video. And remember, there are some challenges to it. Okay, so maybe some problem, the video will be a little bit longer, but yes, if you are going to learn, you definitely need to give some time, right? Okay, so this is our agenda you can see today. Okay, so first of all I'm going to discuss what is Kickstart. After that I will show you why the Kickstart installation is useful still now, then Kickstart installer. Okay, how you can create a Kickstart file, okay, in Relight or in CentOS 8 or CentOS 7. I will tell there is a problem in CentOS 8 or Relight right now, that we'll discuss there. Boot the installer. Okay, Kickstart configuration. Okay, means how you can create those file, and the configuration information what will be stored inside it, we are going to discuss. And the known issues, okay, the issues which can come there. Kickstart resources, and at the end I'll show you the steps, and live I'll show you on my laptop. Okay, so there is some theory part, let us finish it, so soon we can move on to our lab part. Okay, so without further wasting any time, I am just starting my document. Okay, uh, guys, hope you are liking this video. If you are liking this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll come up with some new videos in technology, and every week 1 or 2 videos will come. Okay, so please like and subscribe, guys, and if you have any doubts, any queries, you can comment it below. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let us start. What is Kickstart? Okay, so first of all, Kickstart is nothing, just an automated installation process of Linux operating system. Means when you install an operating system, Linux operating system, means specifically we need to click some steps we need to follow, right? Maybe the disk partition you will select, the installation media you will select, the partition you will create, and then the network configuration and the time zone. So many things are there, you need to click your mouse. So you need to interact when you are installing operating system. So when you are going to install operating system on a large scale, there we cannot reach to every system and install the operating system, right? I need a manpower for that, or maybe it will consume more time. So to save the time and manpower, we use the Kickstart there. Okay, like WDS server in Windows, here also we have Kickstart installation in Linux. Okay, so let me describe it. What is written in PPT? Kickstart installation is a method usually used primarily but not exclusively by Red Hat Enterprise Linux operating system to automatically perform unattended operating system installation and configuration. Okay, so comparison, Kickstart installation is similar to Jumpstart for Oracle Solaris, or for Windows, you know, that is WDS server, Window Deployment Server, right? Okay, if you need any videos on Window Deployment Server, I can create that also. You just put a comment according to the voting, I can create a video on it. Okay, that's okay, let us move on. Okay, now the point is why we use Kickstart. Already you come to know that it is a automated installation, the human interaction will be nothing there. Okay, so first point is a system administrator can create a single file containing the answers to all the questions typically asked during an installation, save time installing. It means that actually maybe it is not written properly, that's okay. Let me describe it. So normally some questions, it is in Linux there is a Anaconda configuration, means Anaconda actually helps you to ask those questions during installation, Anaconda process, but it is asked like a question. So question like the time zone, the keyboard setting, the network configuration, the partition information, those things. So if there are question, there is some answer, so that's those answer if you write on a file. Okay, before you are going to install, what will happen, those question will be automatically answered. Okay, that is the process. So that's why to automate this means we will not answer those questions, by using mouse or anything while it will be installed, automatically it should be answered by our file. Okay, that will be our kickstart file. Okay, so same configuration in many computers. It means if you want to, I told you right, if you want to install a Linux operating system on a large scale, same configuration will be there, the initial information will be same on each and every system. Okay, so there will be no differences in those system, right? And if in one system it is getting installed, it means on other system also there will be no such problem, right? Yeah, so quick installation system, yes, it will be quick, really quick. And unattended installation system. Okay, sorry, there is a spelling mistake, you can see, I can. Okay, so unattended installation system, you don't need to attend anything, you just need to initiate it. Using kickstart not only saves time, but it brings certain amount of consistency into play, assuring that every machine created with same kickstart file will meet the same initial specification. I told that the system configuration, initial system specification or configuration detail, they will be same, there will be no such differences. Okay, so there are common factors which should meet. So that is the use of the kickstart file, the benefits you can tell. Okay, now the next point is, that is very important, kickstart installer. Okay, so how you can do this? I was telling that the very important tool which was present in RHEL 7 or in CentOS 7, the system config kickstart, is not at all available on RHEL 8 or CentOS 8. Okay, so what they are telling, as per Red Hat guideline, now they are not providing this tool. Okay, either you need to take help from their website. Okay, in their website they have made it available, but you need a subscription, means without any subscription you cannot create the file, or they're recommending to take help from a existing kickstart file, or you can manually create it, or you take help from other operating system like CentOS 7. Okay, that is the thing they are recommending. So to create a kickstart file, I have taken help in this session from RHEL 7. I will also show you how to create it. Okay, sorry, it is not RHEL 7, it is CentOS 7. I will show you how to create it. Okay, and I'll also share this kickstart file. You can see the link down there on the description section. Okay, so I'll show you, don't worry, how the kickstart file you have to create, and there is something you need to actually be careful about. I'll tell those point. Okay, so installer, you can use a local CD DVD ROM, a local hard drive you can use, NFS installation method you can use, FTP HTTP. So in this session I'm going to use HTTP actually. Okay, and FTP HTTP are now supported, you know it. Okay, so in this session I'm going to show you with HTTP. You can use FTP also, that is also a good option. So in steps you will understand how it is going to happen. Okay, so first of all let me tell you the about the kickstart file. Okay, so create a kickstart file. To create, I told, to create the tool you require. Okay, or when you have successfully installed a operating system by using your mouse and those things, you will get a anaconda-case.cfg file on your home directory of root user. Okay, so you can take help from this file also, but means you need to edit something on this file. Okay, whatever the changes you have made by using your mouse on that time of installation will be saved on anaconda-case.cfg file. But if you don't want to make any changes there, or maybe you want not to make any syntax error, you can take help from a kickstart file, sorry, kickstart configuration tool. I'll show you that. So go to application system tool, that one. Okay, I'll show this one, so I'm not explaining this one at all. Okay, this point you can read. I'll share this PPT also, you will get this link on the description. Okay, so don't worry about it, I'll describe this point. Okay, after that, the boot, the installer. Okay, the installer, how it is going to happen. So the installation, how it will be initiated, I'll show you. It is also there on the lab part, I'll show you. So now quickly let us see how it will be initialized. You can see there is something written, right? Case.cfg, case equal to, that is the path, only that one is required. This one you can skip, not at all required. So the just after init.img you can mention ks equal to http the path, okay, on the client system. I will tell you when this page will come, okay, I'll show you, don't worry. And whole lab I'm going to show you on VMware Workstation, okay. On VMware Workstation you can do the same thing on VirtualBox, okay. If you are getting any doubts, anything, you can comment there, I'll help you, okay. Now I'm going to show you the steps, okay. The steps is very important. First of all, you need a ISO image of the CentOS 7 or CentOS 8, whatever the installation you want to do. Maybe you want to configure Relate or CentOS 7 or CentOS 8, whatever. You can you can download it from their official website, okay. So here I am going to show you that one with RHEL 7, okay. As I have you know why I showed it RHEL 7, because the tool which is available to create the kickstart file is there on the RHEL 7. That's why I am showing it on RHEL 7, but the file you can use it for RHEL 8 also. There will be no such changes, okay. There will be no such changes, just the ISO image path will be different, that's it, okay. First of all, you need to download it. You need to it will be ISO image, okay. So after getting the ISO image, you need to mount it on a particular directory, okay. It should be extracted, not actually in ISO format. It should be mounted on some directory, so those files should be accessible, okay. Then create a kickstart file. Kickstart file, I'll show you the tool to create it, okay. There and some changes need to be there, I'll show you how to do it. So publish the kickstart file through Apache server or FTP server. In this lab I am going to show you with Apache server, Apache HTTPD server. Go to the client system and initiate the installation. So I hope all of the points are clear to you, right? So those were the steps, okay. Now let me quickly move on to my lab and show you that. So first of all, I will introduce you with my lab, okay. So you can see that is my RHEL 7 operating system. Let me just log in, okay. So I have logged in, sorry, okay. So you can see here I have logged in on my system, and what I did here, already it is done to save the time, okay. So but I'll explain you what I have done, and the steps I will again repeat, okay. The command will be written. Now I told you, first of all you need to download the ISO image. So I have downloaded it from the centos.org, okay, and it is a CentOS 7 ISO image, and it is mounted here, and I have copied all things inside my var www html directory. But how this directory will come, you know, that is a Apache server setup, okay. So first of all let me tell you Apache server setup, so that the directory will come, and inside the directory you can paste all of the files, okay. So yum install httpd star -y, what it will do, it will install the Apache server, okay. You can see already all those package are there, okay, package are there. So after that you need to start. So Apache is started, right? Now you need to open the port through firewall. If you don't open the port, Apache server, the web server, right, web server port, you know, if it is insecure connection it will be 80, if it is secure connection it will be 443. So in firewall, you know, by default in Linux all the ports are blocked, right? So I had to open it. So you can either open the service or the port number. Here I am going to open the service. So the command will be firewall cmd, okay, then permanent, okay, permanent add service. Which service? HTTP. In my system it is already added. You can see the message will come, yes, already came. After that you need to reload. So firewall cmd reload, okay. I have reloaded. So this is opened. Now the port is open. So from outside world, from another system, they can access my website, but the website should host the content. What the content I am going to share, okay. So the ISO image I am going to host it on my website, and the ISO image is there inside my var www html, okay. That is the default location to store your web page in the Apache server, okay. Here what I did, inside the directory you create a subdirectory dvd. It is there, you can see. To create it you can just run mkdir command, mkdir dvd, Okay, so I'm not executing, already it is there, you can see already exists. And inside DVD, what is there inside DVD? The ISO image is mounted. Those file you are getting, they were actually inside the ISO image of CentOS 8, sorry, CentOS 7. Okay, I have mounted all of the thing. Okay, you can see the size. Okay, you can see all of the size, all of the files are there. Okay, clear. Now how can I check? It should come on your browser. Is it coming? Let me check. My system name is redhat.com. Okay, redhat.com/dvd. Okay, all those files are visible, right? All those files are visible, they are coming locally, it is a local Apache server. Okay, fine. So the ISO image is ready. This file will be, those files will be used to install the app, install the whole OS. But I need a file, kickstart file also. Thus for that file also required to be hosted. But I have hosted it and not inside my DVD. Just to go one step back. Okay, one step back, and there I have a kickstart file already created. Okay, but leave it. I am going to show you again how to create it. Okay, so to create a kickstart file, you need to download a, sorry, install a package. The package name is yum. Okay, install system config kickstart. Okay, this tool is also installed in my system, you can see. Okay, and the command to open the tool, it is a GUI tool. Okay, you don't need to run any command. Okay, so the tool name is also same, system config kickstart. Clear? So it will open a tool. Okay, this is the tool. Okay, so there are so many settings, you can see. It is asked like a question, so you have to select the option here before you are going to install, and those will be written on a file. At the end you can save it on a particular directory. So first configuration is basic configuration. Basic configuration like your time zone, I am making it India. Okay, so for India I have to go so many town, Asia and Kolkata, you should select. Okay, so Asia, it is America right now. Let me come down. Okay, so Asia, Kolkata, I'll select. There are so many. Yeah, Asia, Kolkata, yeah. uh, yeah, it will come Kolkata down. Yes, you can see here Kolkata I have selected. Okay, keyboard setting, normally I also use US English, like, right? So this is default section. So you can also give your password, root password, right? So when you install a operating system, it will ask the password. So that password you can write down here, so you don't need to provide it later. I'm mentioning Red Hat as a password. Okay, Red Hat as a password, 2 times I'm giving. You can apply this one, encrypt root password, so it will be encrypted, otherwise it will be no cipher text. Okay, it will be just a plain text. Okay, no, everybody can see it. Okay, so reboot the system after installation. This is also very important. Automatically it will be rebooted, you don't need to click anything. Okay, and the system will be ready. Okay, graphical is default. Perform installation in text mode. Okay, but by default it is selected on graphical, so I don't need to do anything here. First configuration is done. Second configuration, so here how you are going to do this installation. Okay, so what I'll select here, CD-ROM. Okay, selected CD-ROM or HTTP. If you select HTTP, you have to provide the path. Okay, first of all it is HTTP. My path is HTTP redhat.com. Okay, and the directory is /dvd. Okay, I have selected HTTP, I told you, and the website is already created, right? So you have to separate the directory and the domain. Okay, that is my domain and that is my directory. Clear? So perform new installation, yes, that option you have to select. Bootloader option, yes, you have to create a new bootloader. If you want to set a grab password, so nobody can break your password until you give this correct password. So I'm not setting anything. Okay, I'm not setting anything, I'm not making it complex. Okay, and then install options. Install bootloader on master boot record MBR. Yes, you will select the default things. Okay, and nothing, I'm just selecting just to install a new bootloader. Partition information, that is very important. So first option you have to select clear master boot record. Okay, clear the existing one. Then partition, remove all existing partition, that is also okay. Default this one. Initialize disk level, do not initialize. Okay, disk level not required. You can mention the default one. Add, click on add now. Okay, so the mount point, first two things is very important. One is slash, so slash will be formatted with XFS, and is make partition on specific drive like your SDC, like this HDA, or like this. Which one you want to mention, you can mention here. I'm not mentioning anything, let it take the default one. Okay, size I'm mentioning around 10 GB. Okay, 10 GB. Fixed size I have selected, and you can see here 10 GB I have, so it is in MB, that's why I have taken 10,000. Okay, now force to be primary, has primary, but normally it will be primary, don't worry. Okay, click on OK. Done. First partition created. You can see one more is required, that is boot. Okay, one more is required, that is boot. So in boot you can just mention 300 MB or 400 MB. 300 MB is enough. Okay, then click on OK. This two is enough. You can, if you want to create some swap partition, you can do it. Okay, so let us also create a swap partition. Swap, is it there? No swap is coming. Okay, leave it, I'm cancelling it. Okay, two thing is there, two thing is created. Network configuration, now nothing is required. Network authentication, firewall, display, package selection is important, but I'll do it manually. I have a list of packages, I'll paste it on that file. Okay, pre-installation script and post-installation, nothing required. Okay, so I have configured up to partition, that's it. After that you can click on file, click on the file, open the file, preview the file, save the file. So save, we'll click on save. Okay, where you want to save it? I want to save it on my root directory. Okay, on my, maybe I want to do it on desktop. Then click on save, it will be saved. Just now close it. If you now come here, if you go to slash here, if you go to desktop, you will see your kickstart file. If you open it, you will see all of the option is coming now. The URL what I have given, you can see the URL is attached. I had broke it into two different parts, red.com and DVD, but right now it is attached. You can see install keyboard, root password, your all of the option, right? It is given, even your partition, your everything is created automatically. Okay, but something is missing here. Those things are your packages. Some package are very important to be installed along with the installation of the OS. So those package list you can see. So that is same file what is there inside my var www html. Here you can see I have a kickstart file. Okay, this file, it is also same, you can see. So redhat.com was there, but here I have used IP because I don't have any DNS. So you will also use your IP, not your domain. Okay, so I have my IP is 192.168.13.135 and then DVD. So you have to use your IP, don't use your domain name because you don't have any DNS. Okay, then language selection, all are same, right? All are same. Partition, up to partition it is okay, but later what is there, it was not there on the kickstart configuration tool. I have not done it using those tools. I have manually pasted the list of the package. These packages if you install, it will means you definitely need to do it. Okay, so the package it started by using percentage packages and should be ended with percentage end. Okay, those are the list and those are valid packages, means those packages are really available inside your repository. If any package is missing inside your repository, it will show you error. So don't mention any packages randomly. If it is not available, it will show you error. That's why those packages, they are validated and they are available inside the kickstart file, and it will show you no such error in the whole installation process. Clear? So right now. Let me save it and quit. Okay, so I hope it is very clear to you how to create this kickstart file. Okay, and how to post means how to paste the packages. The list is there, you can copy. I'll show it on, I'll create a link and file, it will be available on the description. Okay, so this file is also present on my HTML directory. Okay, it is also available on my HTML directory. It means it is also available from the browser, right? So if I mention ks.cfg, it should open. Yes, it is opening, it is available. Now I can start my installation. Okay, to install it, what I'll do, okay, what I'll do, I will actually create another virtual machine and I'll mention. So this is another virtual machine I have created. Okay, so it is some OS is already running there. Again, I'll install here. You can see what is the configuration I have given. 2 GB RAM I have given to it, processor 1, 20 GB hard drive I have given, and those are the settings. Okay, I'll do one thing, just power off it, power off. It is very simple, you know how to create a virtual machine. I'm not discussing about how to create a virtual machine, you know already about it. I'm just turning on this virtual machine and I'll initiate the installation. Again, I'll do the installation. So in VMware, how to do, power on it, click on your screen, press escape. Okay, now it will show you, you have to do it a little faster because otherwise your system will move on to the booting process grub page. Right now you can see there is a removable device, hard drive, CD-ROM, network port. I'll select CD-ROM. Okay, CD-ROM you have to select, as the ISO image is attached uh, to the virtual machine, so it will not come if you have not attached. So please, you should have a ISO image and that should be attached to CD and DVD. You can see the ISO image is attached here, as it was there, that's why the page is coming. Okay, so you have to select install CentOS 7, then you have to press tab button. When you press tab, this line will come down there. After quit, you just need to mention ks equal to http, okay, double backslash, it is forward slash, so then 192 dot 168 dot 13 dot 135 slash ks dot cfg. Okay, just press enter. Please note it down, this command is very important. ks equal to, you just need to mention the path of kickstart file, and I don't need to touch anything in the whole system. Okay, I'm just pressing enter. Now you see the magic. Without touching anything, any task I will not do, but the whole installation will be done. The partition information, everything will be automatically selected. The answer will be given directly by the configuration file, kickstart configuration file. Okay, and at the end, maybe I need to make a reboot because it is not there in this file. Okay, yes, it is happening, and the graphical page will also come there. Also, all of the details will be filled automatically. Okay, so wait for the page and you can see it will be happening very faster. Okay, so maybe it will not give you that much time to observe what happened. Okay, but hope you can see it. Yes, the page is coming. Yes, you can see all of the details are automatically filled and the installation automatically started. I have not touched anything. Okay, all things are done. Root password is also set and the installation is started. It will take few minutes. After that it will be done. Okay, you can see here it has started this installation process. So this was a kickstart installation process. Now if you would want to do it on CentOS 8, you can also take help by this kickstart file. Just to mention, just download the ISO image and do the changes, and you can do it on CentOS 8 also. Okay, if there is any issue you can comment there below, and I hope you liked this video. If you have any question, ask it on comment section, and please subscribe to my channel, like and subscribe. So I'll again come up with some new videos. Thank you guys for watching my videos. Stay healthy, stay safe. Bye bye.